Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing kind of like a first impressions on some Milani products. What kind of inspired this was I was watching Desi's Snapchat probably about a month and a half ago, and she was talking about the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. So there's a lot of people saying it was amazing, so I needed to try it. I don't use a lot of drugstore products, I'll have to be quite honest with you, so I definitely wanted to try some of this stuff out and see if it's any good so I can let you guys know. Any way you can save some money is always a good thing. Watch my Snapchat, you know I had to go to like 5 different places to find this foundation, but I finally found it at a CVS and the price point was actually really nice on that. I will list this in the description. I also picked up the Milani Prime Perfection face primer. This is the Hydrating and Pore-Minimizing one. It is oil free, so I was excited to try this. And then while I was at it, I was like, hey, I can go ahead and do a Milani like first impression. So I grabbed this Milani eyeshadow palette. I've never been a person to really get into drugstore eyeshadows. Every one I've ever tried has just not been up to par, so I just don't want to waste my money. I'd rather put it towards high-end stuff. So if you want to see how I like these products, just keep watching. I will go throughout the day and just show you how the foundation and eyeshadows wore. And yeah. Okay guys, so for primer I'm using the Milani Prime Perfection. This is the Hydrating and Pore Minimizing primer. It's oil free. So when it comes out it's white. I don't know if I have any primers like this. Kind of looks like a lotion. I can't tell if it has a scent. I don't think it does. It does feel really nice. Kind of leaves a nice silky finish to the face. Ooh. To prime my eyelids, I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to prime with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I use the shade NW15. And for eyeshadows today, I'm going to be using this Milani little eyeshadow palette, but they don't have like a matte cream shade that I can set my base with, so I'm just going to use my tried and true Naked Basics palette, and this will just ensure that our shadows go on nice and smooth. And I already did my brows just because it takes too long and I'm in a rush. It does come with a cute little brush that I probably won't be using, but it'd be nice to have kind of this in your bag. You have like a kind of fluffier flat brush and a dense packing brush as well, so that is handy to have. So this is the palette, and you have a really pretty kind of champagne shade, that medium brown, a really pretty kind of deeper gold shade, a maybe bronzy shade, it's hard to tell, it kind of looks maybe burgundy. This is a very pearlescent shimmery shade and a dark brown shade. I'm going to go in with that medium brown as our transition. So I'm going to start working this directly into the crease. I really wish this had a mirror, that would be convenient. So let me get a mirror. Seems to be going on pretty nice so far. A little darker than I would prefer. Next up, to darken the crease, I'm going to be taking this darker brown matte shade, and I'm using a pointed brush. The color is very dark. Yes. Oof. This is gonna probably be a little bit more intense than I wanted. Seems to blend quite nicely, which is nice. Now I'm taking a different blending brush and I'm going to go back in with our transition shade just to buff that out. Don't want it to be too dark and smoky. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more light and fresh today. Now I'm taking that really beautiful light champagne shade. Yes, hunty. I'm gonna work this in the inner portion. I already tell this is the type of powders that will definitely transfer all up here. Now to keep things lighter, that bronzy shade is freaking gorgeous. I'll show a swatch later, but I'm going to use the gold shade. I guess I'm going for a gold look today. Tap this on the outer portion. This one doesn't seem to have the best color payoff on the lid. Pet peeve when shimmery shades just get everywhere. I'm going to try to buff some of this shimmer off the crease. Pet peeve. And I'm going to go in with these shadows. I'm going to spray them with a setting spray. Tap that on. Just gives more foiled look, but for me it just really kind of sets down the eyeshadow. So let's try again with this gold shade. We're going to spray it with our setting spray. Tap it on the outer corner. This is what inspired this entire video. I've really been wanting to try the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. And another reason I'm excited to use this today because I just had to pick my face. If I find a clogged pore, got to get it immediately. I'm not sure if this is going to be too dark for me, so we shall see. My face and my neck is a lot lighter than my body right now, so don't be alarmed. So I just took a couple pumps, throw this on my face. The shade I'm using is 01 Creamy Vanilla, which if it's 01, I'm assuming that this is the lightest shade, which really sucks for pale people. But I can kind of tell that this is a high coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and spread this around with my finger, and then I'll go in with my beauty sponge. This does seem to have quite a yellow undertone. I feel like one of the Simpsons right now. I do not have a yellow undertone, so this foundation's looking a little odd on me right now. I can still see my blemish now that I have the foundation in, but let me just try to tap on some additional, possibly. So this spot is pretty apparent, however that spot is pretty intense, so we'll see. For my concealer, I'm going to mix some of the MAC Pro Longwear, one in the shade NW15 and the other one in the shade NC20. In my normal highlighting spots. I'm also going to throw some of the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Medium Beige down the sides of my nose as a quick cream contour. Now, these are products I use all the time, so I was going to try something different, but since I'm testing out the foundation, I wanted to be sure to use products I'm familiar with. And to set my under eyes, I'm using the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I'm very familiar with this product, so I'm using it. The foundation still seems to be a little bit tacky, so I'm going to set it as I normally would. I'm using the Laura Geller Baked Balance in a Brighten foundation in the shade Fair. So since I'm in a massive rush, I'm going to throw the rest of my face on and then come back. I'm taking our transition shade again, and I'm going to work this on the lower lash line. These shadows are quite nice, but we'll see how long they last. I forgot to note the time. Right this second, it is 9:48 a.m. I woke up early for you guys. You should be impressed. Now for the inner corner highlight, I'm taking this shade right here. I like how they have different highlight shades in this palette. For it being a small palette, it does have some nice shades. I'd be interested to see if you could use any of these as like a face highlight. I'm going to go ahead and set my face as I always would, but I'm only going to use Max Fix Plus, which isn't really a makeup extender. It just kind of settles all the powders down and it helps hydrate my skin, so I always do that step no matter what. So I'm going to do that, throw on some lashes, mascara, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I need to run out the door, but to kind of keep with the drugstore theme, I use the Ardell Wispy lashes. These ones are in the style 600. I haven't been able to find these, and I finally found them, and I think they're just so pretty. Let me just give you a little close. They're just fluffy and really pretty. The foundation looks gorgeous, I'd have to say. My fiance told me like 6 times I look beautiful, so it's always a good thing. Eyeshadow looks good. For my lips, I use the Too Faced Melted Liquid Lipstick in Melted Nude and throw some Max Flesh Pot in the center. So I need to go eat brunch with my madre for Mother's Day. So I will kind of give you an update when I come back, which will be probably in another like 3 hours. Hey guys, so this is my first check-in. It's already 4:17. Where did the day go? To brunch, met my mom, my brother, my nieces and nephews. It was like a full buffet style, so you know your girl ate a lot. The foundation is pretty amazing. It is full coverage, but not like uncomfortably full coverage. I covered this spot, but that was like a straight purple spot. I could have probably used like a corrector to cover it, but of course I wanted to test out the foundation slash concealer foundation. The eyeshadow actually looks pretty great. That shimmer on the lid hasn't transferred any more to the crease than it did in the very beginning, so that's the good news. Lashes, these are some good lashes. I don't see any like settling into pores or creasing. It's looking pretty good, no issues, nothing has come off even around my mouth, and like I said, buffet, like a full room buffet, like a lot. I have to clean my house, got to do some things, and then I will check back in with you guys. So I did what I said I wasn't going to do, and I just woke up from a nap. Pretty sure I fell asleep face up, but I'm looking in the mirror right now. And I'd have to say, foundation's still good, bronzer's good, blush good, highlight is good. The only thing that's starting to mess up is the kind of inner corner of the lash is coming off right here, but that's pretty typical for me with these little natural lashes. I'm used to the big dramatic ones with a thick band, so these ones usually pop off for me at some point in time, but everything's looking pretty amazing. I have to say this foundation is pretty dang good. Let's look at the claims on this foundation. It says, oh, and by the way, this freaking foundation is $9.99. Can we get a moment? Their lightest shade is 01 Creamy Vanilla, which is the same shade I have, which I'm not sure if it's like coming off on camera, but I'm not super pale right now. It says combat under eye circles, redness, and other skin imperfections with this full coverage, a water resistant foundation plus concealer in one. A no mess, no drip pump dispenses just the right amount of fluid needed to achieve a flawless look and works around the clock to keep skin looking naturally perfect. I'm going to agree with you, Milani. I'm going to agree. However, I can't really say about the under eye dealio. I don't really apply my foundation under my eyes. Water resistant, I'd have to say I did have my dog and my dog's sister over today. Every time she freaking jumps, I swear to God, she like licks the whole side of my face. At one point, I don't know if it was him or her, but something was licked in this general area here. I don't see anything missing. Oh, and when I went to brunch with my mom and got back in the car and left, dude, I was sweating a lot. Can't tell any of that now. Like, everything's just really like still really pretty cohesive. I don't notice any blotching off, any settling into fine lines or anything. I am actually super impressed with the foundation. The only thing I am super upset about is the color selection. As far as the eyeshadow, it looks the same. Like, it still looks really good. Let me zoom you in. The eyeshadow is still in the same exact state as when I put it on this morning. Inner corner is still popping. Lid color is still shining through. No more of that lid color has transferred to the crease. No more than it did in the very beginning, like I mentioned in the last check-in. So everything is really good. I'd love to keep trying these eyeshadows. For the primer, I'd have to say, usually if I don't like a primer, I know right off the bat, like it kind of just sits on top of the skin weird. It doesn't sink in well. My skin might feel slightly irritated. I might notice kind of texture building on my skin or rashes. But I actually like this. Like, it seemed very comforting to my skin. I definitely agree with the hydrating thing. Now, pore minimizing, it's not really like a pore filling type texture. Normally more silicone based primers are more so going to fill in your pores, so I have to keep you posted on this. This particular foundation didn't seem to settle in pores, so could be the foundation, could be the primer. I highly recommend both. Get on the Milani train. This stuff is a bomb, so affordable, and yes. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and if you have any requests for future videos, definitely let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.